Hello, I'm Gil Zilkha. Welcome to my channel, Essential Classical Music, where we look at the best recordings of the classical music repertoire. This video is taken out of my larger video on the major solo piano works. I hope you enjoy it. Now let's talk about a few of Bach's somewhat smaller works, starting with some of the earliest works he wrote, the English and the French suites. There's 6 each of these. And English and French is debatably a misnomer. There's no hard evidence that they were actually based on English or French tradition. But I would say is they're both very charming, very elegant works. The French sound to me slightly more maybe introspective, but maybe that's just what I hear. Maybe I'm just thinking that in my mind because they're French, but I hear a little bit of that. But they both definitely have the hallmark of being charming and elegant. And my recommendation for these works is Glenn Gould, recorded in the 70s. And he just has a blast performing this. Wonderful rhythmic energy. He does tend to sing along. I should have mentioned that with the Goldberg variations. If you're not used to that, he sings along in that recording. It's part of the legend of it. But it's very infectious. The playing, especially if you're listening over a long time. Everything, he brings the lines out, has wonderful character, wonderful charm, and energy. So it really sells you on the work, and it keeps you listening throughout. And for me, that's something that's very important. Next, I want to talk about the 2- and 3-part inventions. They're called 2- and 3-part because there are 2 and 3 parts, meaning 2 or lines, and then in the 3-part there are 3 lines, 3 melodic lines. The 3-part are actually really technically called symphonias, but the 2- and 3-part inventions name stuck. Technically, it's inventions and symphonias, and these works are also very rhythmically engaging, really fun pieces. Number 8 is one that you may have heard in piano recitals. Bum 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 bum. Number 13. Da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun dun. And my top recommendation for this is Glenn Gould, who again can often play at exhilarating speeds. So like that number 13 I was just doing is much faster than I was singing it just now. But he sells you on the work. He's just having a blast with it. It's just always engaging and entertaining, and keeps your mind active and listening. So for me, this version from 1964 is a good top recommendation. Again, the singing is a thing. He does do it. It's just something. If you hate it, then find another version, because it's just something that he does. All right. So next, let's talk about the 6 partitas. Now, these works are a little bit more sophisticated. They're really, really wonderful works. This was actually this was his last set of suites, and it was the first set of suites that he published himself. And so they were called the Klavierübung number 1, which is keyboard exercise. And for these, my top recommendation is, again, one of the top Bach gurus of the 20th century that I mentioned earlier, Rosalind Turek. These recordings come from the late 50s, and her love of the music just really comes through. She's thought through everything, really captivating playing, wonderful rhythmic energy, wonderful delicacy as well. Both technically and also mentally, really digs into the music. So it is a really wonderful way to get to know the partitas. Incidentally, I think this is the first time in this video we've discussed this series. It's going to come later as well. This is from the Great Pianist series that Philips put out a few decades ago. A lot of times this is an amalgam of different issues that have come, and they've kind of put a best of together. And so this is all just Bach partitas, and they all come in 2-disc sets. I'm not exactly sure what other label or labels that these partitas are available on. This is just how I happen to get them. If you're not sure, again, check the dates. It's the late 50s. And that brings us to another one of those same issues I want to mention for a recording of Partita number 1. And that's this famous 1950 recording with the Romanian pianist Dinu Lipati. Now, this one I do know that EMI released it. I'm not sure if it's in a box set. I'm pretty sure there's a single issue that came out first. But here it comes with a set that you're going to want anyways. It's got a lot of some of his best recordings. So he recorded just the Partita number 1, but it's got wonderful rhythmic energy, wonderful virtuosity, as well as a beautiful lyrical quality that he brings with the lines. So it never sounds mechanical, and it's a wonderful interpretation that is been famous for a long time. Okay, so one more group of small keyboard works I want to mention, and this is actually from the Klavierübung 2, which includes the Italian Concerto and the French Overture. And then I also want to mix in here, because it's often recorded with the Italian Overture, the Italian Concerto, the Chromatic Fantasia and Fugue. Now, the Italian Concerto is sort of your typical fast, slow, fast sonata form. It's a really jolly work. It starts out dun 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 dun, and then it's got this beautiful slow movement. And then the French Overture is really kind of like another partita, except it's a little longer, and the first movement is an overture. That's how it got its name. And in this case, it actually was, we believe we can verify that it does have French influence, so it's not a misnomer in this case. And it's a really engaging work as well. And for the, I want to also mention the Chromatic Fantasia Fugue. That one is fairly early work that, like its name suggests, it's chromatic. So chromatic is like going up by half step, and that's what you hear in the fugue. And throughout the work, you hear a lot of harmonic changes, and it's sort of it's a really cool work. It's one that it's almost sort of forward-looking and really fantastic. My top choice for these works is from Andras Schiff. Like I was saying with the Well-Tempered Clavier, he's got this wonderful natural style, a beautiful tone. It's wonderfully recorded in the 80s and 90s. And this grace and proportion really brings out the beauty of the works, and also the rhythmic energy, especially in the French Overture. So great way to get to know these works. And then I also want to mention this historic recording from the 30s and 40s from a pianist you wouldn't associate with Bach normally, Arthur Schnabel, a pianist we associate with romantic repertoire. Well, especially in the Chromatic Fantasia and Fugue, I think that flexibility and imagination he was known for really pays dividends. It's a really wonderful interpretation. It's got that kind of nervous energy that he was known for. And the piano sound is it's not nice and pretty like you would have with the Schiff, but it's listenable, and mainly you're just listening for his interpretation. So that's a really great recommendation as well. Thanks for watching. I wish you all a great day and happy listening.